Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to your favorite channel, Star Scandal Spotlight. Tonight, we're diving deep into a story that's stirring up emotions and curiosity all over the K-drama world. Have you ever wondered if the sparks we see on screen sometimes flicker into something more behind the scenes? Well, brace yourselves, because today, we're uncovering something truly captivating. Park Min-young reveals the one thing about Park Seo Joon she's never been able to forget. What is this unforgettable secret? Is it about love, regret, or something that was never meant to be known? Stay with us, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see this iconic duo forever. Let's get into it, right now. It happened during an ordinary press interview. A quiet room, polite smiles, the usual questions, until someone dared to ask what fans had been secretly hoping to hear for years. Is there anything about Park Seo Joon that still lingers in your memory? Park Min-young, ever composed, paused. Her fingers gently traced the rim of her coffee cup. Her eyes, usually filled with warmth, clouded with something else: hesitation, nostalgia, and maybe something deeper. For a brief second, it felt like time had stopped. Then, she smiled. But it wasn't her usual red carpet smile. This one was tinged with melancholy. There's one thing about him, she finally said, voice softer than a whisper, that I've never been able to forget. Those words hit like a thunderclap across the internet. Instantly, fan forums, Twitter threads, and YouTube reactions exploded with speculation. What was the one thing? A kiss? A secret confession? A moment from the set of What's Wrong with Secretary Kim that none of us ever saw? But before we get to the answer, if one ever truly comes, let's rewind. When Park Seo Joon and Park Min-young starred together in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, fans were struck by how effortlessly the chemistry bled off the screen. It wasn't just acting, it was electricity. Every stolen glance, every tension-filled silence, every playful exchange had a pulse. Behind the scenes, staff members whispered about how often the two would stay back after filming, laughing in dimly lit corners of the set. One production assistant even revealed, anonymously, that they were once caught watching a playback scene together, Park Seo Joon's. But neither ever confirmed anything. When dating rumors surged, both agencies denied it. Just close colleagues, they insisted. Fans, however, weren't convinced. The kind of longing that flickered between them couldn't be faked. Could it? After the show wrapped, something changed. Avoided public interactions. No collaborations, no interviews together. No Instagram tags. It was as if they were rewriting history, erasing each other, pixel by pixel. Rumors swirled. Had they dated and broken up? Was the silence a form of damage control? Insiders claim there was a brief period post-2018 when Park Min-young would cancel public appearances if she knew Park Seo Joon would be attending the same event. One journalist recalled a specific awards night where her team requested to be seated on the opposite side of the room from him, and yet, she never unfollowed him. So when Park Min-young sat down for her latest interview to promote a new drama, no one expected her to lower the walls she had kept so carefully built. But she did, and it wasn't just a slip of the tongue, it was a confession years in the making. There's this one moment, she said slowly. When we were filming a night scene. It was cold, and I was shivering between takes. He took off his coat and wrapped it around me. He didn't say anything, just looked at me like he already knew everything I was going to say. She paused. Wasn't romantic in the obvious way. It was quiet, gentle. Kind of gesture that stays with you long after everything else fades. She didn't cry. But she didn't have to. The silence that followed spoke volumes, and though the interviewer tried to shift to a lighter question, the mood in the room had changed. The past was no longer just a rumor, it had a heartbeat. Within minutes, hashtags like #Park Seo Joon, #Park Min-young confession, and #Secretary Kim Real trended globally, and scoured every old video, searching for that coat scene. Others debated whether the confession confirmed a past relationship or simply revealed a deep emotional connection that never quite turned romantic. One popular theory even suggested that the two had dated in secret, but agreed to stay silent to protect each other's careers. Some, however, felt heartbreak. She still thinks about him, one fan tweeted. May never know. Neither Park Seo Joon nor his agency has responded to the sudden media storm, but sources say he was visibly emotional when he heard about the interview. According to a close friend, he didn't expect her to ever talk about it. He was surprised. Moved. Fans are now demanding a reunion, on screen or off. Petitions are circulating, and in the world of Korean entertainment, where secrets often outlive the spotlight, anything feels possible. For now, we are left with her words, a single moment, a quote, a look, and the one thing she could never forget. It didn't take long. Just days after Park Min-seung's quiet confession shook the internet, Park Seo Joon finally responded, and what he said was far more than anyone expected. Press release. No polished statement from a PR team, just one unexpected appearance at a fan meeting in Seoul, where he stood in front of hundreds of screaming fans, and whispered a truth he had hidden for years. I heard what she said, he began, his voice unusually soft, cracking just slightly on the edges, and I remember that night too. Gasps rippled through the audience. Some fans began crying, others clasped their hands to their mouths. This wasn't just a casual acknowledgement, it was an open door to the past, to the world. Park Seo Joon has always been the charming lead, the man who never falters, always smiling, always strong. That night on stage, the mask slipped. His eyes weren't just glassy, they were full of something much deeper, regret. It was freezing, he recalled. I had this thin coat, and she was shaking between takes. I didn't think, I just did what anyone would do. But I remember the way she looked at me after. Not like a scene partner, not like a friend. It was different. He paused. The room was silent, hanging on his every breath. I should have said something back then, but I didn't, and that's a decision I've thought about more times than I can count. After filming Wrapped, Park Seo Joon admitted they drifted apart. Not because of a fight, but because of the fear that their connection would become public. We're both scared, he said, of ruining what we had, the spotlight turning something beautiful into something ugly. Confessed that there were nights he would hover over his phone, wondering whether to call her. He never did, and she never did either. Conversations we never had, I think. Sometimes silence is louder than any confession. A moment that changes everything. The most shocking moment came at the end of the fan meeting. A fan boldly shouted, "Do you still have feelings for her?" Park Seo Joon laughed nervously. The crowd hushed. He didn't deflect. Some people, he said carefully, stay in your heart, even if they're not in your life anymore. He smiled, then looked down, like he'd just revealed more than he intended. The industry reacts. Hidden cameras, private messages, and one scheduled reunion. Since both actors opened up, insiders have begun leaking clues that point toward a possible real-life rekindling. A leaked photo allegedly shows Park Seo Joon visiting a restaurant near Park Min-seung's agency building last week. One stylist revealed the two exchanged handwritten letters during filming, something extremely rare in modern drama sets, and perhaps most shocking of all, a secret project in development at a major streaming platform reportedly stars both actors, reunited on screen for the first time since 2018, a slow-burn love story about two ex-lovers who meet again after years of silence. Fiction mirroring real life, a chance to rewrite their ending. The world is watching. Are holding their breath, and though neither Park Min-seung nor Park Seo Joon has confirmed any current relationship, the emotional honesty of their recent words has reopened a door many thought was locked forever. In a world obsessed with celebrity perfection, their story reminds us that love, real love, is fragile, unspoken, and sometimes heartbreakingly unfinished. But maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end. Maybe this is the beginning of something undeniably